Dearly beloved in Jesus Christ, welcome to the reflections of 22nd Ordinary Sunday, Year C. In the first reading, Sirach, the wise teacher, tells, "The one who humbles himself will find favor in the sight of the Lord." In the Gospel, Jesus proclaims, "The one who humbles himself will be exalted, and one who exalts himself will be humbled." Therefore, the liturgy of the 22nd Sunday predominantly teaches about the virtue of humility. Dear friends, let me narrate an incident, a story. Before ever I narrate its story, with due respect to every human being and every color, let me narrate this story. Once, a white lady belonging to an elite group traveled in an economy class of a flight. When she reached her place, she made an irritating cry, which is noticed by the flight attendants. The flight attendant came to her and said, "Ma'am, what is the matter? What is the issue?" Immediately, the white lady, with an arrogant face, told the attendant, "Do you expect me to sit down next to this black man? And I am not ready for it." She gave a disgusting look at the man sitting next to her, and she told the air hostess, "Can you please change my seat? I can't sit next to this man." The flight attendant told her, "Ma'am, please calm down. The economy class is full, but let me see if there is a place available in the first class." The hostess went to the captain, narrated the story, and came back with the good news. She came to the fair lady and told, "Ma'am, here we have a good news. There is one seat available in the first class." And looking at the black man, she told, "Sir, do you like to go to the first class with your belongings?" To which immediately all the people in the flight gave a big round of applause. Dear friends, this small incident tells the one who humbled himself, that is to say the black man, is given a place in the higher grade in the first class, whereas the proud lady sitting next to him was humiliated in front of everyone for her behavior. The Lord invites us to cultivate the virtue of humility, and humility will help us to go one step ahead than all other human beings. The word humility comes from a Latin word humus, which means soil or mud. So, humility is remembering that we have come from mud and we return to mud. One who remembers this, he will always remain humble and he will be exalted. But one who forgets and tries to pride himself off in front of everyone will have to sometimes pay the price for his or her behavior. Let me define what is humility. Humility, in simple terms, not belittling yourself in front of others. Humility is not disregarding yourself. Humility is not speaking less of yourself in front of others. It is not speaking less of others in front of everyone and in front of you. Therefore, in one sentence, humility is treating everyone equally where you know what is your standards. That's why St. Francis of Sales says, "Know what you are and live that fully." From the Bible itself, let's meditate upon two important characters. The first one remembers that we are human beings, came from mud and returned to mud, consequently remained humble and exalted by God. The second one forgot that we are mud and we return to mud, tried to pride himself to a higher scale, and then was punished by God. The first one is Adam in the Eden garden. Adam was made, fashioned by God in his own image and likeness. But Adam forgot that he is made of mud and he has to remain humble in the sight of God. He tried to pride himself with the ego, listening to the evil one, and wanted to elevate himself to the height of God. Consequently, he was punished. He was thrown from the paradise into the place where he has to work for his own food. In Genesis chapter 2 verses 7, we hear that we are made from mud. It's good that we remember this fact and will be elevated by God. The second person or the character that remembers we are human and remained humble yet elevated by God is Jesus himself. Jesus Christ is the perfect example of humility, and we the Christians, the followers of him, are 100% reminded to remain just like our master. There are so many biblical citations where we understand Jesus remained humble. The famous one is taken from the letter to the Philippians, chapter 2, verses 6 to 8. Here we read, though he was in the form of God, he did not count equality with God. He humbled himself to the level of human beings. Therefore, the Lord exalts his name above all. Remember, Jesus was God and he is God. But he humbled himself to come into our own nature. That's why the Lord elevates him in front of everyone and he is acclaimed as God. Second citation is from Matthew chapter 11 verses 29, where Jesus teaches his disciples to carry one's own cross. He says, learn from me because I am meek and humble in heart, and you'll be blessed. Everyone who is meek and humble becomes a child docile in the hands of God, and God protects our docility and our frailty and makes us strong. The third citation can be taken from the Last Supper, where Jesus washes the feet of his own disciples. The purpose is to teach his disciples humility and how to serve others. And if we add on, we have so many examples where Jesus humbled himself and God exalted him. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, learn a lesson from Adam, who prided himself and was punished, and learn a teaching from Jesus, who humbled himself and was elevated. What happens to us when we are humble? Well, we know when we are humble, we are not recognized, we are not known, we are not famous. But the fragrance of our own nature will pervade in the place where you are living, and it beautifies the community where you are living. Therefore, be humble. Your fragrance will be felt by everyone, though you may not become famous and noticed. In this, dear brothers and sisters in Jesus Christ, from the 22nd Ordinary Sunday, let's learn only one important lesson, that is, the virtue of humility will help us to become closer to God. Let's be humble and be blessed by God. Let God bless us all. Have a blessed Sunday.